Hey, Tanner James, DJ TJ. We are back with the Peak Period podcast. This is episode 15. Episode 15. It's crazy. It's been going by super fast, but I'm super excited that so many people find it helpful. I keep getting DMs and emails and messages and comments on my YouTube about like, oh yeah, I listened to the podcast and this, and this. And so that is really, really awesome to hear that people actually like it. So I'm happy that everyone likes it. I'd love it if you could share it with your friends. Tell your other DJ friends about it because we're trying to grow this thing, get it more popular, and get it out to people that need it. This kind of started because of the whole issue with finding good information when you're trying to grow your DJ business. There's some out there, but it's really, really hard to find. So I wanted to make it much more present in the world, so that you can just search it, figure it out, say, hey, I need help with this, and then you can go to DJ TJ training and look it up, figure out the answer, and go from there. So that's why this whole thing started. So last week on episode 14, we talked about backup solutions and some of the things that you can do to prevent things from happening, bad things from happening, and some things that you can do to, if something does go wrong, what you can do in that case to fix it quickly and get everything back up and running. So we're going to kind of carry on with that, but change it up a little bit. I'm going to talk about some of the services that I use to make life much easier in the DJ world, because I think I don't think that many DJs share what they do, and it can be really, really helpful to learn what other DJs do and how they plan things and all that kind of stuff, so that when you go and you start growing and you start having less time on your hands. One thing that I say is, when you're small and you have one event every 2 weeks, or even one event per week, that's fine. You can do a lot of stuff. But when you ramp it up and you move that to 4 events per week, 5 events per week, it gets really tough to keep everything under control. You don't have nearly as much time as you had before. So everything comes down to, how do you run your business? And a lot of it is planning beforehand, before you actually start growing, having these processes in place so that when you start growing, you're good to go. You're just like, oh yeah, well, like, I've been doing this for the last however long, the last year. So when I started growing, it wasn't an issue. I was just ready to go. So I'm going to talk about some of the things that I use, some of the services that I use, some of the online cloud services that I use. I'm a huge fan of online cloud services, just because of how easy they are and how good, okay, this is the thing. If you're not using the cloud, you have to get on it. And the main reason is because if you don't, you run so many risks. And so what I mean is, let's say your laptop goes down and you have 3 days until an event. What are you gonna do? Because you really, it goes down the night before an event. What do you do? If everything's on a backup hard drive, that's cool, but what if you're not in the town where the backup hard drive is? So that's why I love the cloud. You just go up, log into your account and download the stuff, and then you're good to go. So that is why I love the cloud. It's just so easy. I have multiple laptops. I have 2 laptops. I have a DJ laptop. I have a laptop that I kind of surf the web on. And then I have my phone. I use Google Drive on all 3 of them, so that I can just shift from one thing to the next, and nothing is changed. So if I'm working on a project, if I'm working on a picture, and I'm editing a picture, or I am doing any kind of thing on one laptop, I can go to the next laptop and just download it and go from there. Or if I'm working, I have a spreadsheet with all of my DJ related stuff on there. What I can do is I can just go in there and I can check it out on my phone, and then I can check it on my one laptop and the other one. So that kind of stuff is super, super helpful. So one thing that's Google Drive. That's what I absolutely love, and that's going to be the first thing that I'm going to recommend. Google Drive is huge because of how easy it is. You really, let me see, I'm right here. You're going to download it, and then you can actually install it onto your computer so that it's a program, and so it's like on your Mac. So instead of saving things to your downloads folder, your documents, or your desktop, you can save it directly into Google Drive. So then what the program does is it automatically uploads it up to the cloud, which then means you go on another computer and you can access it on that computer. So it's super, super cool. It just goes from one thing to the next. The stuff that I keep on my Google Drive is mostly, I don't keep much music. I may have a little bit, but for the most part, it is like documents. It is pictures. It is like I have a folder with all of my pictures in it. And so I have events, I have high schools, and I have weddings. And so the events are like kind of graduation parties, any kind of corporate parties, that kind of stuff, or any kind of event, sweet 16s, anything that's not a high school dance or a wedding. The high schools are then sectioned off by school. So then you're going to hit that school that you want, and then you can section it down by the year and the dance of that year. So that's really, really cool. So what I do is if I go in and somebody's like, hey, I have a question about this, I'm like, okay, well, when did I last use that upgrade, right? If they want to see an upgrade of a gobo, I can say, okay, well, I use the gobo for, Jelly Belly's event. I go into Jelly Belly, I go into events, Jelly Belly, find the picture of it, that kind of thing. And then I have weddings. So all my weddings are in there, which is pretty cool. That's all good. So that kind of stuff really, really helpful to have. I have, let me see, I'll go in here. I have all my contracts in there. I have like business cards. I have just all the stuff that you would need. I have all my DMX, not profiles, but the files in there so that, again, it syncs between computers. So I just pull it up and I'm good to go. I have all my insurance stuff, logo, any kind of marketing, the pricing sheets, setup sheets, training for workers, and then worker related items. So just all kinds of stuff is in my Google Drive. Highly, highly recommend that you get Google Drive. It's $20 per year if you buy it all together, and you get 100 gigabytes of cloud storage. Super, super helpful. And if you remember DJ Lunatico, he, on his podcast when he jumped on here, definitely recommend you go check that one out because he dropped some really, really good information. But I'll give you one of the big ones. He said what he does is when he gets a wedding, he gets their songs. So he gets the big songs. So maybe the grand entrance song, first dance, mother, son, father, daughter, the big songs that are important to play. He will get those songs and put it in a Google Drive folder. So what would happen is, let's say he got in a car accident and he couldn't do it, or he's unavailable to work. All he has to do is tell somebody, hey, go in my Google Drive. Here's my password. Go in my Google Drive. And then what I need you to do is go to, wherever, and then you can play it. And he said he can use this, like, what if he goes down, but his wife is okay? His wife isn't a DJ, but she can go out and get this thing done, get this event done. And the clients are like, yeah, it sucks, but hey, he still had it down. Or if he needs another DJ to go out, hey, Kevin, can you go DJ this for me? Yeah, I got you. He can go and Kevin can go and see exactly what songs need to be played. That is really, really helpful. So I'm like, I need to implement that because that is huge to do. So it's not only kind of the business stuff, you can do this with other things. And that is really, really nice. I use it all the time. I have a picture on my phone. I need to get it on my computer. I go in, I hit upload, go to Google Drive, and it uploads it. And so so easy. I have some other stuff. Again, that the spreadsheet I included I include the exact one that I use in the training program, and it goes over so much about all the different types of events that you've done, what you have, all that kind of stuff. How much you make, how much they tipped, where is it? All this kind of stuff is in there, which is huge because if you aren't tracking your success in the DJ world, it's no good. So because you need to have everything together. So that's really important. The second thing I'm going to tell you about is iDrive. iDrive is a cloud backup system. So what that means is it backs up your whole entire hard drive to the cloud. So instead of just one thing here and one thing there, like Google Drive, it backs up everything, which is huge. Because again, what if your laptop goes down? You don't want that. So if you have iDrive, it backs it up, and then all you have to do is, if you get a new computer, if you get a different kind, if yours goes down, if the hard drive fails, whatever it is, all you do is hit it and you're good to go. So I'm here in the pricing sheet. I want to give you the price for it. This is right now what it is. They always have sales, so it says it's on sale, but it's always on sale. So for 2 terabytes, it is $52 for the first year, and then $70 thereafter, which is incredible. That's really, really good. If you want more, if you want 5 terabytes, you can do that as well. There's a couple reasons I really like iDrive. The main thing is it integrates with like Mac and Windows. So you just hit a button and then it starts backing everything up, which is pretty nice. So I do it. It's going to take a long time the first time you do it. I think the first time I did it, I had like 400 gigabytes, 450 gigabytes on my laptop, and it took like 10 days straight to do it. So it's going to take a long time just because it's backing everything up to the cloud over Wi-Fi. It's going to take time, but it'll be worth it in the long run. So, let it run, let it do its thing. It's going to take a long time, but then you feel completely like when I did it the next day after the 10 days, I felt like so relieved. Like, okay, so if I lose my laptop, I'm cool. Like, what, whatever, it's going to be okay. So that kind of thing is super, super important. That again, you protect yourself and that you are being proactive with your stuff. So the cool thing about iDrive is you hit a button, it starts uploading, and then you can do it on multiple devices. So I have it on there from my my DJ laptop. I do it on my personal laptop, and then I can actually, they have an app. You can download it on your phone, which is really, really cool, because let's say I need a song, I can search on there and it searches my whole entire computer. It takes a little bit of time. It'll take a few minutes, but then I can really like stream any song that's on my laptop on my phone at that time. So let's say I'm in the car and I'm like, hey, check out this song. And I'm like, oh, I don't have it. It's a remix. You can't just like search it on Google. Well, here, let me find it on there, that kind of thing. Or if you have a picture or if you have a folder, you can do that. So it's like searching your computer, but you're on your phone. So really, really cool stuff. I've actually used it many times when I am like on vacation and I have my web surfing computer, but I don't have my DJ laptop. And I'm like, shoot, I need to do whatever. Oh, we'll just go on iDrive. I hit the button and it backs it up. So I recommend this as more of a backup once per month, once every other month, rather than like Google Drive that constantly updates, just because it's going to take longer. So, after maybe you download a ton of music or that kind of thing, maybe over, a few gigabytes of music, then yeah, definitely update it. But I wouldn't do this daily. I mean, that's a little bit of overkill. So the first time it's going to take about 10 days. The next time it'll take some time. It'll take a couple hours because it has to search your whole entire computer to find what is new. But then it uploads it and then you're good to go. So it'll take a couple hours, but so what? That doesn't matter. That's not the biggest deal. So if you have an iMac and you have a MacBook and then you have an iPhone, you can just back everything up. Super, super helpful. And for 2 terabytes for the first year, it's 52, and then 70 for the second year. That's really, really good. Even at 70, that's really good. I think when I joined, it was 1 terabyte for $70. So they're like doubling your space, which is really, really nice. So iDrive is definitely a really, really good investment. And, yeah, it costs money, but so what? $70, you will make that back in one event, hopefully. And how many events do you do? It's like insurance. DJs say like, I need a one-time insurance policy, but how many times per year do you DJ? Yeah, this one event requires it, but that doesn't mean you shouldn't be insured. That's like saying you need car insurance for one time of the year when you drive, but you drive every day, right? That, like, why would you do that? Like, yeah, it's the law, but like, you don't have to. That's kind of that we're in the same case here with the DJ thing. Yeah, this one event requires it, but for 2.5 times the price, you can have a whole entire policy for the whole entire year. just bite the bullet and do it. iDrive is probably one of the best investments, and it's really, really small. I think when we think of investments, we think hundreds of dollars per year, six, seven, eight, $1,000 a year, $1,500, $2,000 investment. And like this one's $50 for the first year. Do it and be good to go. Another thing I want to tell you about is also from Google. It is Google Calendar. Google Calendar is completely free. And it is super, super, super important. If you don't have, again, I'm going to go back to it. If you're small, you can do more stuff. You can do a lot of stuff. When you start growing, you need to have strong processes in place to make sure that you're good to go. And that's one of the issues that I see so many times is, and I never really struggled with it when I grew, but I know that a lot of DJs do it, and I'm watching them, and right now you're good, but when you double and triple and quadruple your business, you don't have all the time that you used to. So Google Calendar is basically a calendar, but it is all cloud-based, which is pretty cool. So the reason it's cool is because it just syncs, just like Google Drive, between all your different things. So what I have is I have it on my phone, and that's where I mostly use it. But what I also have is I have it connected to my Mac calendar. So what I do is I can go into my calendar on my Mac, hit the button, and it pulls up the calendar. But what's really cool about that is that it syncs. So everything that I put in on my Mac pulls up on my phone. Everything I put in on my phone pulls up on the calendar. Really, really cool. Really, really nice. Because I just put everything on there. Literally everything goes on there. My calendar is packed, but I know that if it's not on there, it's very possible I'm going to forget. So whenever someone's like, hey, what about Thursday? Bam, Thursday, I put it in. Like Thursday at 2, I don't wait. I don't remember it. I put it in because I don't want any issues. And because it syncs, I'm good to go. I have never had any problems with it. I absolutely love it. It shouldn't be free. I would pay for it. I know there are some other calendar apps, and so if you are already on one and you like it and it goes up to the cloud and it syncs, that's the main thing. What if you're doing everything on your iPhone or your Android calendar, but it's only on your phone and it doesn't sync? What if your phone goes down? What if you lose your phone? What if somebody steals your phone? You're screwed. So that's why I'm such a big proponent of the cloud, because it's so easy, it's so cheap. I mean, Google Calendar is free. If you are using an old kind of school calendar where it doesn't sync up to the cloud, definitely get on it. I know there are some other ones, like iCalendar or something. There are some other options. If you like what you're on, awesome. Just make sure that it syncs up to the cloud. That's the main important part of this whole situation, is that it syncs up to the cloud. Evernote. Evernote is a huge thing that I use. I absolutely love it, and I love it for many reasons, but I am literally just in love with it because, again, it syncs up to the cloud. Very, very nice, but it also has some cool things that you can do in there, and it's free. There are some free versions. I think I have a paid version because I think they give you 2 devices, and I'm on 3 because I have the 2 laptops and then my phone. So I did have to upgrade to the next level, but it's a couple bucks a month, and I absolutely love it. It's so easy. Again, it just syncs from thing to thing. So this is what you can do. If you don't want Evernote, you can use Google Drive and have open up a Google Doc in there. That's fine. I like Evernote because it's quick, it's easy, and I'm good to go. It's cool because you can create different notebooks. So I have one for all my weddings. I have some for notes when I get a gig. I have just a plain notebook with just random stuff in it. If I think of something, I'm like, oh, I need to write that down. Bam, I can do that. I have notes on DJs for DJ training. So when I set up a coaching call, I can write some notes down for those DJs, that kind of thing. I have a lot of blog posts in there that I can just write down and I'm good to go. And then I have DJ training, so then I can put all my notes for that in there. So I love it because it's just so easy. Just okay, what do I need to do? What do I need to do at the grocery store? Bam, 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 bam. Good to go. And I can do it on my laptop, and it syncs to my phone, and then I'm good to, that is so easy. And that's just in the personal life. What if it's in the DJ world and you need to write something down for this event? I know a lot of DJs use like the Gig Builder or DJ Event Planner, and I think those are definitely good investments. I think the only hard part is like you can take notes on there, but you can't take notes in the same way that you can like this on your phone. So I definitely think it's a good investment. I'm not putting it down. I love that idea. And again, it's cloud-based, right? So if it's cloud-based, I'm a huge proponent of it, huge. I love cloud, but I sometimes want things to just go on, type it down in my Evernote, and I'm good to go. So I think the main thing is be diversified. Don't just be in one thing at one time. That's why I have my calendar. That's why I have Evernote, and that's why I have Google Drive and iDrive. I have it in so many different places that if one thing goes down, I'm not screwed. So that is also important. Don't just have things in one place. Have multiple things in different places. The last one that I'm going to tell you about is kind of an interesting thing, because I always thought the idea was cool, but I never actually went into it. And I thought like, oh yeah, that'd be awesome. And then I never did it. And then at one time I was like, okay, I just need to do this. Like this is super important. So what it is it's HelloSign. It is an online document signing platform. And it's pretty cool because of a few things. I know that DJ Event Planner also has something like this in there where they can sign contracts online. That's awesome. So if you already have that, then this wouldn't be the biggest thing for you. But what this is for, it's called HelloSign. It allows clients and you to sign documents online. So when you get a contract, you write up a contract and you send the contract over to the client. What they generally have to do is print it out, sign it, scan it, and send it back to you, right? Then you have to get it, print it, sign it, scan it, and send it back to them so that they have a copy. That's very old school. The in the middle, and that's the middle zone. What I used to do was I would send it to them, they would do that, they'd send it back, and then I had a program where I could sign it online. So I would just go in there, I think it's called like PDF Sign or something, and then I paid a few bucks for it. I have my signature saved, hit the signature print button, it puts it on the document, and then I can send it back. And that was cool. But this is the thing. I still have to wait on them, and that can take many days because people forget and all this kind of stuff, right? I mean, I've had events where I send a contract and I don't get it back for like a month, and I'm like, and I'm following up with them, like, hey, I wanted to follow up on the contract. Hey, have you gotten the contract back? That kind of thing. Nothing. And so I'm like, man, like, what is up with this? So what I started searching for ways that client can sign something online, and it's easier on them. It's quicker for them. I get the contract back sooner, and I'm good to go. So what I ended up doing was I found HelloSign. I tried it out, and I fell in love. They give you like either a 1 month trial or a 2 week trial. I think it's 1 month, and I fell in love. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I need this. So what it is, I will upload a contract. I'm going to go in, put the name of the document in there, whatever. You can do it with a template as well. I don't like the template because it doesn't come out exactly the way I want it to. So I will just make the contract on my computer, upload it to HelloSign, and then do that kind of stuff. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to hit a button that says prepare document for signing. What I will then do is I'll scroll down to wherever. If you need them to enter anything, you can do that. If you need them to like check mark or initial or anything like that, you can do that. But what I'll do is I'll go down to the bottom. I'm going to enter their name and their email address, and then it'll give me a little button. And so that button I'm going to put down where they sign it, and then I'm going to go over and I can do a sign date. So when they sign it, it's going to date it for them. I'm going to go up to my name where I have to sign. I can print my signature right there, so I have it saved, or it'll be in text version. I can put it there, sign it, and then I send it to them. When they get this contract, it comes in an email. They're going to get it. They click on the button, and I can write a little note and say, hey, Katie, here's the contract. It's online based, so I use this online document signing platform, so you'll be able to sign it within a minute. Thanks. Let me know if you have any questions, whatever. So they're going to go on there. It's going to take them to a screen. It's going to say, hey, Tanner James wants you to sign this contract. DJ TJ Entertainment wants you to sign this contract. They're going to click on it. They're going to they can read through it, all that kind of stuff. And then what's going to happen is it's going to take them to the bottom where they need to sign it. That they are going to then, it's going to say click where you need to sign. So it has like a little red button. They're going to click on it. And then it's going to take them to a screen where they can either write in their signature. They can scan a signature, and I'll explain that in a second. Or they can just use like a it makes it look like you did a signature, but it's just like their own text. So it just kind of gives it a little bit more of a design. And so like if they're on a phone, they can write in their signature, like actually do it with their finger. Or if they're serious about it, they can like write it down, take a picture of it, and like import it. But I haven't had anybody ever do that. Most people just do their name. They just write their name down and then they do the text. And so it just kind of makes it look like they signed it, and then they're good to go. It predates it for them. So like when they sign it, it automatically does that. They don't have to worry about the date. And then what it does is it sends it, once they're done and they confirm it, it sends a copy to them and to me, and it's up in the drive. So I have a copy in my email. It's up in the cloud, and they get a copy sent to their email. So, however many pages your contract is, on the last page, it goes over when I sent it, when they received it, when they opened it, when they signed it, and then when the document was finished. So it's kind of cool for that. I have actually had 4 contracts signed in less than a minute. So like literally I sent the contract to her, and within a minute I had them all back. So that is how quick it is. It is absolutely amazing. So helpful, so easy for me. It automatically reminds the client, I believe at 3 and 7 days. So if after 3 days they haven't signed it, it sends them another email. Hey, remember to sign your contract. And then at 7 days. So then I don't even have to worry about it. So helpful. So nice. I highly recommend you do it. It does cost some money. I think it's $15 month to month, or it's $12 if you buy it in a year subscription, or something like that. $13 if you buy it in a year. Highly, highly recommend it, because it will save you. Again, think back to what I said earlier. At the beginning, when you haven't grown, when you still have a lot of time on your hands, you don't have time. You have time to do a lot of stuff like follow up with contracts. When you are busier and you're working, and then you're trying to find more business, and then you're managing DJs, and then you have to figure out this new piece of gear that you're going to get, and then you have to figure out the family time, and then you have this and that and this and that. It gets so much harder, and that is the biggest issue that I find. And so then following up with contracts is at the bottom of your list, because you're trying to figure out all this other stuff. It automatically does it for you. It is absolutely amazing. The contracts come back way quicker than I've never had contracts come back this quick. I absolutely love it. So highly recommend you jump on there. And all the DJs that are on it or on this type of platform absolutely love it, because it's so helpful. So I highly recommend jumping on there. All right, so we're going to recap right now. First, Google Drive, $20 a year. You get 100 gigabytes. I highly recommend you jump on there for all the small stuff, the documents, the contracts, even though they will be on iDrive as well. So when you save the contracts and any invoices and contracts coming into you, if you have to do something like that, all that kind of stuff you can save in there, and you're good to go. iDrive, highly, highly recommend it for 2 terabytes at $70 a year up in the cloud. It's a steal, okay? Please, please, please jump on it. You will thank yourself later. And even if your laptop doesn't ever go down, you'll still be happy that it's up there. So highly, highly recommend that you jump on there. Google Calendar or some kind of cloud-based calendar. I give you these options. There are other options, right? You don't have to use iDrive. You don't have to use Google Drive. You don't have to use Google Calendar or Evernote. You can use OneNote from Microsoft. But the main thing that I'm helping you with is I'm just giving you exactly what I use and what you can implement. Google Calendar, huge. You need to keep everything under control. It's crazy and your life is going to get crazier. So make sure you have the processes in place that will make you successful, that will allow you to keep becoming more and more successful. Evernote, super important to take those notes, take the client notes, take any kind of notes, super, super important, super easy for all the different devices to sync, and very nice for even just personal stuff. Super, super easy. You can put photos and all kinds of documents in there, so that is so nice. And lastly, HelloSign. I highly recommend you jump on there. It will, it's one of those things that, will it make you money? No. But will it save you time and energy? Yes. So that is why I say it. And you get the contracts back sooner, and that's pretty nice. So definitely jump on HelloSign. So again, iDrive, Google Drive, Google Calendar, Evernote, and HelloSign, all highly recommended. And you can have them all for less than $200 a year, $300 a year for all of them. So I highly recommend that you jump on those. If you have any questions about any of the services that I use, go ahead, let me know. If you want to know more about running your DJ business and keeping it successful, I have a course. It's called the Business Techniques course. It's all this kind of stuff. It just goes into so much more depth and how I actually use all of this stuff. I have I told you a little bit, but I actually have a lot more and demos of all these softwares and all that kind of stuff. And again, how do you keep your business successful? You can check it out, djtjacademy.com/business. You can go to my main website, DJTJ Training, as well, and you can scroll around and find it in advanced content. So if you are listening to this and you are not on any of the social media that I'm on, go ahead and hit me. It's DJTJ Training, at DJTJ Training, Facebook, Instagram. If you want to hit my personal Instagram, DJTJ916, and Twitter is that as well. And YouTube, youtube.com/TannerJames, TannerJames, and you can find me. So on that note, I will jump out of here. We have some pretty cool podcasts coming up with some pretty cool DJs. So definitely be sure to tune back in the future, because we're only going up from here. It's really, really cool that this is all working out. So again, thank you for listening to episode 15 of the Peak Period podcast. And I will catch you next Thursday. Make sure you jump on iTunes and subscribe there and rate. Really, really appreciate that for the people that rate it. So again, I will catch you next week on episode 16 of the Peak Period podcast. Thanks for listening.